Hey, you. I know you're confused right now. Your head probably hurts a little from the chloroform. I'm sorry about that. I really am. But you're finally here with me, and that's all that matters. I've been waiting for this moment for so long, planning every detail, making sure everything would be perfect. And now you're sitting right here in my apartment, exactly where you belong. Oh, you're trying to move your hands. Yeah, those are zip ties. I know they're uncomfortable, but I couldn't risk you leaving before we had a chance to really talk. Before you got to know me, the real me, not just another face in your book signing crowd. I can see it in your eyes. You're trying to place me, trying to remember if you've seen me before. And you have, so many times. You just never really looked. I was at your reading 3 months ago, in the second row, wearing the blue dress. You signed my book and smiled, but you didn't see me. I was at the coffee shop last Tuesday, sitting 2 tables away. You ordered a flat white with oat milk, extra hot, just like always. I was in the park when you sat on that bench by the fountain, the one under the willow tree. You sat there for 47 minutes, just thinking, just being. I've been everywhere you've been, learning everything about you, because you're the most important person in my entire world. And tonight you're finally going to understand why. Don't look so scared. I'm not going to hurt you. I could never hurt you. I need you to listen, really listen, without walking away, without disappearing into your busy life where I'm just another anonymous fan. I've prepared dinner for us, your favorite, pasta carbonara with extra Parmesan, the good kind, imported from Italy, just like you mentioned in that interview last year. I know you're vegetarian now. You made the switch 8 months ago, so I used plant-based bacon, and I made sure every ingredient was ethically sourced, because I pay attention. I notice everything about you. Every word you write, every interview you give, every casual post on social media. I consume it all. I study you. I know you better than anyone else in your life, better than your friends who only see you at parties, better than your family who still thinks you're the same person you were 5 years ago. I know the you that exists right now, in this moment, the you that you're becoming. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to untie one of your hands so you can eat, because I know you haven't had dinner yet. You never eat before 7, and it's 6:45. And we're going to have a nice meal together, and we're going to talk. Really talk. And you're going to realize that us, being here together, this is exactly what you've been missing in your life. Someone who truly understands you, someone who sees every part of you and loves it all, someone who would do anything, absolutely anything, to make you happy. Even if it means crossing a few boundaries to get your attention. Now, I'm going to come over there and untie your right hand. Don't try anything stupid. The door is locked and I have the only key. And honestly, where would you even go? Nobody knows you're here. Nobody saw me bring you in. I was very careful. And deep down, I think a part of you doesn't even want to leave. Because when was the last time someone cared about you this much? When was the last time someone planned something this elaborate just to spend time with you? There, see? That wasn't so bad. Your hand is free. You can move your fingers, get the circulation back. The food is right there on the coffee table, still warm. I timed it perfectly. I've gotten very good at timing things, at predicting your schedule, at knowing exactly where you'll be and when. It's amazing what you can learn when you dedicate yourself completely to someone, when they become your entire reason for existing. Go ahead, eat. I promise it's not poisoned or anything. I already had some myself. See? I'll take another bite right now. I want you healthy. I want you happy. I want you to stay with me forever. And none of that works if I hurt you. This isn't about control. Not really. This is about love. The purest, most devoted love anyone has ever felt for another person. You're probably wondering when this started, when I went from casual fan to this. It was 14 months ago, February 16th, a Tuesday. I was standing on the bridge downtown, the one that crosses the river, the one that's always empty at 3 a.m, and I was going to jump. I had the note written. I had said goodbye to nobody because nobody would have cared. I was alone, completely alone in this world. And then I remembered I'd bought your book that morning. Hadn't read it yet, and I thought, maybe I should read it first. One last good thing before I go. So I went home and I read your book, cover to cover, in one sitting. And I cried. I cried for the first time in months, because your words, your characters, the way you described loneliness and connection and the desperate human need to be seen. It was like you were writing directly to me, like you understood, like you knew. You saved my life that night. You didn't know it, we'd never met, but you saved me. And from that moment on, I knew you were the one person in this entire world who could truly see me, understand me, love me. So I started following your work, reading everything you'd written, watching every interview, going to every event. And the more I learned about you, the more I fell in love. Not with some fantasy version, not with a celebrity persona, but with the real you. The you who struggles with imposter syndrome, who rewrites the same paragraph 17 times, who cries at animal shelter commercials. The you who's just as lonely as I am, just as desperate for real connection, even if you hide it better. I can see it in your eyes right now. You're starting to understand. You're starting to see that this isn't just some crazy fan thing. This is real. This is the most real thing that's ever happened to either of us. Take another bite. The pasta's getting cold. And let me tell you more. Let me tell you everything. Because once you know the whole story, once you understand how deep this goes, you won't want to leave. You'll want to stay with me forever. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is obsession, that it's unhealthy, that I need help. And maybe you're right. Maybe by normal standards, this crosses lines. But normal people don't understand what it means to find your soulmate, to find the one person in 8 billion who was made for you. Normal people settle. They compromise. They convince themselves that good enough is actually good. But I refuse to settle. I refuse to live in a world where I don't have you. And I think, deep down, you feel the same way. You write about it all the time. In your books, in your essays, this longing for something more, for someone who truly sees you. Your protagonist in your last novel, the one who felt invisible even in crowded rooms, who went through life feeling like a ghost. That was you. I know it was. You were writing about yourself, about how lonely you feel, how isolated. And I'm here to tell you, you're not invisible to me. I see every part of you. I notice everything. I remember everything. Like how you chew your bottom lip when you're thinking, or how you always order mint tea after 8 p.m. because caffeine keeps you awake, or how you donated anonymously to that animal rescue last month, $500, because you saw a post about a dog that needed surgery. You didn't tell anyone. You didn't post about it. You just did it because it mattered to you. And I know, because I know everything. You're looking at me differently now. I can see it. Not quite so scared, more confused, maybe even a little curious. Because part of you is thinking, how does she know all this? How is this possible? And another part of you is thinking, it's kind of nice, isn't it? Being known this completely. It's okay to admit it. You don't have to say it out loud. I can see it in your eyes. Nobody's ever paid this much attention to you before. Nobody's ever cared enough to learn every little detail. Your ex didn't. She barely remembered your birthday, let alone your favorite meal or your secret anxieties. Your friends are nice, but they're busy with their own lives. They ask how you're doing, but they don't really want to know. But me, I want to know everything. I want to know what you dream about, what keeps you awake at night, what makes you feel alive. I want to crawl inside your mind and live there, understanding every thought, every fear, every hope. And I think you want that too. You want to be understood that completely, even if the circumstances are unconventional. Here, let me refill your water. You're probably thirsty. See, I'm taking care of you, making sure you have everything you need. This is what it would be like if you stayed, if you let me love you the way I want to. I'd anticipate your every need. I'd make your life perfect. I'd dedicate every moment to your happiness. Isn't that what everyone wants? To be someone's entire world? You're eating more now. Good. I knew you'd like it. I followed the recipe exactly. Even practiced twice to make sure I got it right. Because everything has to be perfect for you. You deserve perfect. Can I ask you something? And will you answer honestly? When was the last time you felt truly happy, truly content, truly at peace? Not just momentary pleasure, not just distraction from loneliness, but real, deep, soul-level happiness. You're thinking. You're really thinking about it. And you can't come up with an answer, can you? Because you're just as empty as I am, just as desperate for meaning, for connection, for someone to make this all make sense. We're the same, you and I. We're both lonely souls searching for something real in a world of superficial connections. And I found you. And now you've found me, even if you didn't know you were looking. I have your books memorized. Did I mention that? Every single one. I can quote entire passages. My favorite is from your second novel, Chapter 17, when your protagonist finally admits that she's been performing her entire life, pretending to be someone she's not because she thought that's what people wanted. And she says, I'm so tired of being the version of myself that other people need me to be. I just want to exist as I am, without apology, without performance, and be loved for that. That's you, isn't it? That's how you feel. You're tired of performing, tired of being the put-together author, the successful writer, the person who has it all figured out, when really, you're just as lost as everyone else. But with me, you don't have to perform. You can be exactly who you are, messy and complicated and imperfect, and I'll love every part of it, because I already do. I already know all your flaws, all your fears, all the parts of yourself you try to hide, and I love you anyway. I love you because of those things, not despite them. Isn't that what you've been searching for? Someone who loves the real you, not the persona, not the image, but the actual person. You're crying, just a little. I can see the tears forming in your eyes. It's okay. It's okay to feel this, to feel seen, to feel understood. Even if the situation is terrifying, even if part of you knows this is wrong, you can't deny that it feels good, doesn't it? To be known this deeply, to be loved this completely. I'm going to tell you something, and I need you to really hear me. I would die for you, right now, without hesitation, if it meant you'd be happy. I would step in front of a bullet. I would throw myself off a bridge. I would cease to exist, because my life only has meaning in relation to you. You're my reason for breathing, my reason for waking up every morning. And I know that sounds extreme. I know it sounds unhealthy, but it's the truth. And isn't truth better than all the polite lies people tell each other? All the, I care about you, but not really, relationships people settle for? I'm giving you pure, undiluted, absolute devotion. The kind of love that poets write about. The kind that people search for their entire lives. Most people never find it. They settle for lukewarm affection, for companionship, for someone who's good enough. But you don't have to settle, because you have me, and I am completely, utterly, obsessively yours. You're looking at me like you don't know what to say, and that's okay. This is a lot to process. I understand. But I need you to know something else, something important. I'm not a monster. I'm just a girl who loves you so much it hurts, who loves you so much she couldn't breathe anymore without having you close. And yes, I crossed a line tonight. I know I did. But wouldn't you rather have someone who loves you too much than someone who loves you too little? Wouldn't you rather be wanted desperately than tolerated casually? I see you considering it. I see the wheels turning in your mind. You're thinking about all the times you felt alone, even when surrounded by people. All the times you wanted someone to truly see you and nobody did. All the times you wished for someone who would fight for you, who would do anything for you. And here I am, offering exactly that. Maybe not in the way you imagined, maybe not through conventional means, but the end result is the same. You have someone now who will never leave, never betray you, never forget you. Your hand is shaking. I can see it. Not from fear anymore, from something else. From the weight of being seen, from the intensity of being loved. It's overwhelming, I know, but it's also beautiful, isn't it? I want to tell you about the shrine I have in my bedroom. Would you like to hear about it? Don't look so worried. It's not creepy. Well, maybe a little, but it's also kind of romantic. I have every book you've written, first editions, some of them signed. I've been collecting them for months. And I have printouts of your articles, your interviews, photographs from your events. I have the coffee cup you left on the table at that cafe, the one with your lipstick mark still on the rim. I have the pen you accidentally dropped at your last book signing, the blue one. You didn't even notice it was missing. I have a strand of your hair from when you got it cut last month. The stylist swept it up, but I managed to grab a piece before they threw it away. And every night, before I go to sleep, I look at all of it, and I feel close to you. I feel like you're there with me, like we're already together. And now we actually are. You're not eating anymore. You've stopped. Are you full? Or are you just too overwhelmed to keep going? Talk to me, please. Say something. I need to hear your voice. I need to know what you're thinking. You're asking me, why? Why this? Why not just talk to you like a normal person? And I wish I could. I wish I could have just approached you and started a conversation and built something real. But you're always surrounded by people, always busy, always moving from one thing to the next. And when I did try, when I did approach you at that book signing, you smiled and signed my book and moved on to the next person in line. I was just another face, another fan, another nobody. And I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept being invisible to the one person who matters. So I had to do something dramatic, something you couldn't ignore, something that would force you to really see me. And yes, I know, kidnapping is extreme. But extreme situations call for extreme measures, and my love for you is the most extreme thing I've ever felt. You're asking if I understand that this is wrong, if I know that I've committed a crime. And yes, of course I do. I'm not delusional. I know exactly what I've done. But I also know that some things are worth the risk. Some things are worth throwing away your entire life for. And you're worth everything. You're worth losing my freedom, my future, my sanity. Because a life without you isn't a life worth living anyway. You're telling me I need help, that I should let you go and get therapy. And maybe you're right. Maybe I am broken. Maybe I am sick. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care about being healthy if it means not having you. I don't care about being normal if normal means settling for less. I'd rather be crazy and have you than sane and alone. But you're right about one thing. This isn't sustainable. We can't stay like this forever, with you tied up, me keeping you prisoner. That's not a relationship. That's not love. That's just captivity. So here's what I'm thinking, and I want you to really consider this. What if you stayed willingly? What if I untied you completely and you chose to be here, chose to give this a chance? I can see the shock on your face. You think I'm insane for suggesting it. But hear me out, please. You're lonely. I know you are. I can see it in everything you write, everything you do. You're searching for connection, for meaning, for someone who really gets you. And I'm offering that. I'm offering complete understanding, complete devotion, complete love. What if you gave me a chance, a real chance, not as your captor, but as someone who could be in your life, someone who already knows everything about you and loves you anyway, someone who would never hurt you, never leave you, never stop seeing you? What if this is actually the beginning of something beautiful, once we get past the rocky start? You're laughing, a little. Not a happy laugh, more like a disbelieving one. You're saying this is insane, that I'm insane, that nobody in their right mind would agree to this. And you're probably right. Probably. But I had to ask. I had to give you the option. Because I don't want to keep you prisoner. I don't want you to hate me. I want you to choose me. I want you to want to be here. And if you can't, if you truly can't see any possibility of this working, then I'll let you go. You don't believe me. I can see it. You think I'm lying. But I'm not. I swear I'm not. I love you too much to keep you against your will forever. If you genuinely want to leave, if there's no part of you that's even curious about what this could become, then I'll untie you. I'll unlock the door. I'll let you walk away. But I'm asking you, I'm begging you, before you make that decision, just talk to me. Really talk to me for 1 hour, as if I'm not your kidnapper, as if we're just two people having a conversation. Get to know me, the real me, not just the obsessed fan, but the person underneath. And let me get to know you, not through observation, not through research, but through actual, honest conversation. And if, after that hour, you still want to leave, then I'll let you go. I promise. But if there's even a tiny part of you that feels a connection, that sees the possibility of something real, then stay. Stay with me, and let's figure this out together. What do you say? Will you give me 1 hour? 1 hour of your time in exchange for your freedom either way? You're thinking about it. I can see you weighing the options, trying to figure out if this is a trap, if I'm lying, if you should just refuse and demand to be let go right now. But there's something else in your eyes too, something you're trying to hide. Curiosity, maybe even interest. Because despite everything, despite how wrong this all is, there's a part of you that's intrigued, a part of you that wants to know who I really am. What makes someone love this intensely? You're nodding, slowly, hesitantly, but you're nodding. You're agreeing to 1 hour, 1 conversation. I knew you would. I knew you'd be curious. It's one of the things I love about you. You're a writer. You're drawn to stories, to understanding people, to seeing beneath the surface. And I'm the most interesting story you've ever encountered. Okay. I'm going to untie your other hand now, and your feet, and we're going to sit here, on this couch, as equals, and we're going to talk. And I'm going to tell you everything. About me, about my life, about why I am the way I am. And you're going to listen. And maybe, just maybe, you're going to understand. There, you're free. Completely free. You could run for the door right now if you wanted. But you're not. You're sitting here, waiting, listening. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this chance. So, where do I start? I guess I should tell you about my childhood. It wasn't great. Actually, it was pretty terrible. But I don't want pity. I just want you to understand. My parents didn't want me. I figured that out pretty early, around 5 or 6. They never said it explicitly, but you can tell. You know, when you're unwanted. They were always busy, always working, always anywhere but home. And when they were home, they looked at me like I was an inconvenience, like I was something that happened to them rather than something they chose. I learned to be quiet, to be invisible, to not need anything. Because needing things made them angry, made them cold, made them leave again. School wasn't better. I didn't fit in. I was too quiet, too weird, too intense. I tried making friends, but I didn't know how. I'd say the wrong thing, or care too much, or just be off somehow. So I stopped trying. I spent lunch periods in the library. I ate alone. I convinced myself I was fine with it. And I was fine. Mostly. Until I realized I'd gone entire weeks without speaking to anyone. Without anyone speaking to me. I was a ghost, moving through life without leaving any mark, without mattering to anyone. And then I found books. I found stories. I found characters who felt like friends even though they weren't real. I found your books, and they saved me. You saved me, even though you didn't know I existed. I'm 23 now. No family, no friends, no job I care about, nothing that matters. Except you. You're the only thing that makes my life feel real, feel meaningful. And I know that's a lot of pressure to put on one person. I know it's not fair, but I can't help it. I tried to have a normal life, to care about normal things, but nothing else matters. Nothing else fills the emptiness. Only you. Only this. Only us. You're looking at me differently now. I can see it. Not with fear, not with disgust, but with something else. Something softer. Pity, maybe, or understanding, or recognition. Because you see yourself in me, don't you? You see the loneliness, the desperation for connection. We're not that different, you and I. We're just on different sides of the same coin. You're asking me what I want, what I actually want from all this. And that's a good question. I'm not sure I've ever really thought it through. I want you to love me. I want to matter to you. I want to be the person you think about before you fall asleep. I want to be important, to be seen, to be real to someone. But more than that, I want to stop feeling like I'm drowning, like I'm suffocating in loneliness. And I thought, if I could just have you, if I could just be close to you, then maybe I'd feel alive again. Maybe I'd feel like I mattered, like my existence had a purpose. You're telling me that's not love? That's dependence? That's unhealthy attachment. And you're right, of course you're right. But when you've been invisible your entire life, when nobody has ever cared if you lived or died, unhealthy attachment starts to look a lot like love. I'm crying now. I can feel the tears on my cheeks, and I don't care. I don't care if you see me break down. Because you're the only person I've ever been honest with, even if most of it was one-sided, even if you never knew. You're reaching out, you're putting your hand on mine. Why are you doing that? You should be running. You should be calling the police. But instead, you're comforting me. Your kidnapper, the person who drugged you and tied you up. Why? You're saying you understand, that you felt invisible too, that loneliness can make people do desperate things. You're not excusing what I did, but you're trying to understand why. And that's more than anyone has ever given me. More compassion than I deserve. You're asking me a question now, and it's hitting me harder than anything else you could have said. You're asking, what if we started over? What if I let you go right now, and you gave me your real contact information, and we tried this the normal way. Coffee. You're suggesting coffee, like a normal first date, like normal people. And I'm stunned. I don't know what to say. You're offering me a chance, a real chance, not because I forced you, but because you're choosing to. After everything I've done, after I kidnapped you and tied you up and basically ruined any chance of a normal relationship, you're still willing to try. But why? Why would you do that? I don't understand. You're saying that you see someone who's hurting, someone who's lost, someone who needs help more than punishment. And you're saying that maybe if someone had shown me kindness earlier, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. You're saying you're not promising me forever. You're not promising me romance. You're just promising me honesty, a real conversation, over real coffee, where I'm not your captor and you're not my prisoner. Just two people, talking, seeing if there's something real underneath all this obsession. And if there's not, if we have coffee and realize there's no genuine connection, then I need to let it go. I need to get help. I need to move on. You're making me promise that, right now, before you give me your number. And I'm nodding. I'm agreeing. Because as much as it terrifies me, as much as the thought of losing you makes me want to scream, I want something real more than I want to keep you prisoner. I'm reaching for the keys. My hands are shaking. I can barely hold them. I'm unlocking the door. I'm showing you that you're really free, that this isn't a trick. And you're not running. You're standing up slowly, stretching your legs, but you're not running. You're walking to the door, testing it, making sure. It really opens, and it does. The night air is coming in. You could leave right now and never look back. But you're turning around. You're looking at me. Really looking at me. And you're pulling out your phone, and you're typing something. And then my phone buzzes. You sent me your real number, your actual contact information. You're saying, next Tuesday, there's a coffee shop on 5th Street, the one with the blue awning. You'll meet me there at 2 in the afternoon, and we'll talk, really talk, about boundaries and respect, and what healthy connection actually looks like. And if I can show up and be normal, and treat you like a person instead of an obsession, then maybe we can try being friends. Friends. That's all you're offering, and it's more than I ever thought I'd have. I'm crying again, harder now, because this is real. This is actually happening. You're giving me a chance I don't deserve, a chance to be a real person in your life, the right way. You're at the door now, 1 foot already outside. Freedom just steps away. And you turn back one more time and you say something that breaks me completely. You say, you see me. You really see me now. Not as a threat, not as a problem, but as a person who's hurting. And that's more than anyone has ever given me. You're leaving now, walking down the hallway, disappearing into the night. And I'm standing here in my doorway, watching you go. Not chasing, not following, just letting you be free. And for the first time in 14 months, I feel something other than obsession. I feel hope, real hope, that maybe I can be more than this. Maybe I can be someone worth knowing, someone worth having coffee with. Someone who doesn't have to kidnap people to feel seen. I close the door slowly, and I look around my apartment, at the dinner I made, at the chair you were tied to, at the evidence of what I almost became. And I feel sick, genuinely sick, at how close I came to destroying everything. But you gave me a way out. You gave me a path to something better, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to show up on Tuesday and be the person you deserve to meet. Not the obsessed stalker, but the real me, the person underneath all the pain and loneliness. I'm going to get help, real help, therapy maybe, or support groups, whatever it takes, because I want to be worthy of your kindness, worthy of that coffee date, worthy of being seen by you. Tuesday, 5 days from now, 5 days to become someone better. I can do this. I have to do this. I pick up my phone and I look at your number, your real number, that you gave me willingly. And I don't text you obsessively. I don't send 100 messages. I don't start planning our future. I just save your number. And I put my phone down. And I breathe. Because this is what healthy looks like. Giving you space, respecting your boundaries, trusting the process. The next 5 days are the longest of my life. I don't follow you. I don't check your social media. I don't drive past your apartment. I stay away, completely away. And it feels impossible. It feels like I'm suffocating. But I do it because you trusted me, and I'm not going to betray that trust. I spend the time cleaning my apartment, taking down the shrine, boxing up the collected items, the coffee cup, the pen, the strand of hair. I keep your books. Those are normal. Those are okay. But everything else goes into a box and into storage. And I look for a therapist. I make calls. I schedule an appointment for next week. I tell them I need help with attachment issues, with obsessive thoughts, with learning healthy relationships. And it's terrifying, admitting that I need help. But it's also kind of freeing, because maybe I don't have to be this person forever. Maybe I can change. Maybe I can be better. Tuesday comes, and I arrive at the coffee shop 10 minutes early, and I wait outside, nervous, shaking. What if you don't show up? What if you changed your mind? What if you just gave me your number to escape and now you're never coming? But then, at exactly 2 o'clock, I see you walking down the street. And you're really here. You actually came. You smile when you see me. A small, cautious smile, but a real one. And we go inside together, and we order coffee. You get your flat white with oat milk, extra hot, just like always. And I get something different than usual, because I'm trying to be different, to break old patterns. We sit down at a corner table, away from the crowd, where we can really talk. And there's this moment, this awkward, uncertain moment where neither of us knows how to start. And then you speak first. You say, "Thank you for coming. Thank you for respecting the boundary, for giving me space." And I say, "Thank you for giving me a chance, for not calling the police, for seeing me as human." And just like that, we're talking, really talking, for the first time ever. Not captor and hostage, not stalker and victim, just two people having coffee. You ask me about my life, my real life, not the obsessed version, but the everyday version. And I tell you, hesitantly at first, about my job at the bookstore, about how I mostly work alone, restocking shelves, lost in stories, about how I don't really have friends, but I have coworkers who are nice to me, about how I'm really trying to build a real life. And you listen. You really listen, asking questions, showing genuine interest, not because you're scared of me, but because you actually want to know. And then I ask about you. about your writing process, about what inspires you, about what it's like to create worlds, and you light up. You actually light up when you talk about it. And I realize I'm seeing a side of you I never saw through observation, the passionate side, the side that gets excited about character arcs and plot twists and finding the perfect word. We talk for 2 hours. The coffee gets cold and we order more, and the conversation just flows. And it's not perfect. There are awkward moments where the weight of what happened hangs between us. But we push through them. We acknowledge them. We don't pretend everything is normal because it's not. But we're building something new, something that could maybe become normal eventually. You tell me about your own loneliness, about how success didn't fix the emptiness, about how you sometimes feel like a fraud, about how you write about connection because you're desperate for it yourself. And I realize you were telling the truth. We really are similar. Not in the obsessive way I thought, but in the genuine human way. 2 lonely people trying to figure out how to exist in a world that feels too big and too empty. And that's when I truly understand what you gave me. Not pity, not fear, but recognition. Genuine human recognition. As the coffee shop starts to close, as the afternoon turns to evening, you say you have to go. And I nod. I understand. I'm not going to beg you to stay. I'm not going to follow you home. But then you ask, would I want to do this again? Maybe next week? Same time, same place? And I'm so shocked I almost can't answer. I just stare at you with tears in my eyes, and you smile, that cautious smile again, and you say, you're not promising anything. You're just offering friendship, real friendship, the kind where we meet for coffee and talk about books and life and slowly build trust. And I say yes, of course yes. I would love that. We exchange a real goodbye, not a dramatic one, just a simple, see you next week. And I watch you walk away, again. But this time it feels different, because you're coming back. You're choosing to come back. I walk home slowly, letting everything sink in. The enormity of what almost happened, the horror of what I did, the grace of what you offered. And I make a promise to myself, right there on the sidewalk, under the streetlights. I'm going to get better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to become someone worthy of your friendship. Not for you. Not just for you. But for me too. Because I deserve to be more than my obsession. More than my loneliness. More than my desperation. I deserve to be a whole person, capable of healthy relationships, capable of real love. And maybe someday, if I do the work, if I heal, if I become that person, maybe someday there could be something more between us. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll just be friends. Maybe that's all this will ever be. And for the first time in my life, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with uncertainty, with not controlling the outcome, with letting things unfold naturally. Because what we have now, this fragile, uncertain friendship, is already more than I ever had before. The weeks turn into months, and we keep meeting for coffee, every Tuesday at 2. And slowly, so slowly, I start to change. I start therapy. I work through my attachment issues. I learn what healthy boundaries look like. And you're patient with me, through the setbacks, through the moments when I slip into old patterns. You call me out when I cross lines, but you do it gently, with compassion, with the understanding that healing isn't linear. And gradually, I start to build a real life. I make a friend at work, just one, but it's a start. I join a book club, and I actually talk to people, share my thoughts, exist in a community. I start writing again, something I gave up years ago. Poetry mostly, about loneliness and connection and learning to be human. And through it all, you're there. Not as my obsession, not as my whole world, but as my friend. A real friend who checks in on me, who celebrates my progress, who reminds me that I'm worth the effort. 6 months pass, and we're sitting in our usual spot, and you tell me you're proud of me. Proud of how far I've come, how much I've grown, how different I am from that night. And I start crying, because nobody has ever been proud of me before. Nobody has ever noticed my growth, my effort, my change. And you reach across the table and you hold my hand, just for a moment. And it's not romantic, it's just human. One person acknowledging another's struggle. One person saying, I see you and you matter. And in that moment, I realize something. I'm not in love with you anymore. Not the obsessive, desperate love I felt before. But I do love you, in a healthy, genuine way. I love you as a friend, as someone who saw me at my worst and helped me become better. And maybe that's even more meaningful than romance. Maybe that's the kind of love that actually heals people, the kind that doesn't consume but nurtures. A year passes, and my life looks completely different. I have friends now, real friends, people who know the real me and like me anyway. I have hobbies, interests, a life that doesn't revolve around one person. And you're still in it, still my friend, still meeting me for coffee when our schedules allow. But you're not my whole world anymore. You're just a part of it, an important part, but not the only part. And that's exactly how it should be. We're sitting in the coffee shop one Tuesday, and you tell me you're seeing someone you met at a writing conference, someone kind and funny and good for you. And I feel a pang. I won't lie, there's still a small part of me that wishes things had gone differently. But mostly I feel happy for you, because you deserve love. You deserve someone who can be healthy for you from the start, someone who doesn't come with the baggage I brought. And I tell you that. I tell you I'm happy for you, and I mean it. And you look at me with such warmth, such genuine affection, and you say you're proud of me. You say that response, that genuine happiness for my joy. That's growth. That's proof of how far I've come. That's proof that I'm going to be okay. And I realize you're right. I am going to be okay. I am okay. Right now, in this moment. I'm a person with friends and hobbies and a life that matters. I'm not perfect. I still struggle sometimes. But I'm real. I'm whole. I'm human. The sun is setting outside the coffee shop window, casting golden light across our table. And I look at you, really look at you, and I feel overwhelming gratitude. Not for loving me back, you never promised that, and you don't owe me that, but for seeing me when I was invisible, for offering me a path when I was lost, for believing I could change when I didn't believe it myself. You saved my life that night, not 14 months ago when I read your book, but the night you walked into my apartment as my hostage and left as my friend. That was the night you truly saved me, because you showed me that I could be more than my worst moment, that I could be more than my obsession, more than my loneliness, more than my desperation. You showed me that I could be human, flawed and growing and worthy of connection. And that's the greatest gift anyone has ever given me. We finish our coffee and we say goodbye. See you next week, same as always. And I walk home as the sun sets, feeling the cool evening air on my face, feeling alive, feeling present. And I think about that night, about how close I came to destroying everything, about how easily this could have gone differently, about how lucky I am that you saw something worth saving. I'm not proud of what I did. I never will be. But I'm grateful for what came after, for the chance to become someone better, for the friendship that taught me what real love actually looks like. Not obsession, not desperation, not possession, but respect and boundaries and genuine care for another person's well-being. That's what love is. And I'm still learning, but I'm learning. I reach my apartment and I look around at my life, at the books I'm reading, at the poems I'm writing, at the photos of friends on my wall. And I smile, a real, genuine smile, because I'm not invisible anymore. I'm not drowning anymore. I'm not desperately grasping for meaning. I'm just here, existing, living, being. And that's enough. I'm enough. I sit down on my couch, the same couch where you once sat tied up, where this all began. But it's different now. The energy is different. I'm different. And I think about you, about your new relationship, about your continued success, about your happiness. And I feel only warmth, only joy for you, only gratitude. Because you gave me the greatest gift. You taught me that people can change, that mistakes don't have to define us, that there's always a path forward if someone offers a hand. I pick up my journal, the one my therapist suggested I keep, and I write. I write about growth and gratitude and the strange, beautiful way that life unfolds, about how sometimes the worst thing we do becomes the catalyst for becoming our best self. And I write about you, about the friend who saw past the monster to the person underneath, about the grace you showed me when I deserved none, about the second chance that changed everything. I close the journal and I get ready for bed, and I feel peace, genuine peace. Not the desperate, clinging peace of having you near, but the deep, settled peace of knowing I'm okay on my own. And that's everything. That's what I was searching for all along. Not you specifically, but this feeling of being whole, of mattering, of being real. Thank you. Thank you for showing me the way. Thank you for not giving up on me, for believing I could be better, for walking beside me on this journey. I turn off the lights and I climb into bed. And I don't dream about you tonight. I don't obsess. I don't plan. I don't ache. I just sleep, deeply and peacefully, the sleep of someone who knows they're going to be okay. Tomorrow is a new day, full of possibilities, full of friendships and growth and small joys. And I'll meet it as myself, the real me, not the obsessed version, but the healing version. And maybe I'll text you something funny I saw, and you'll laugh, and we'll chat for a few minutes like friends do. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll give you space with your new partner, and that'll be okay too. Because I trust now. I trust that our friendship is real, that it'll be there when we both need it, that distance doesn't mean disappearance. I've learned so much, and I'm still learning, and I will be for the rest of my life. But I'm not alone in it anymore. I have people, I have purpose, I have myself. And if you're listening to this, if somehow this story reached you, I want you to know, if you're lonely, if you're desperate, if you're drowning in obsession, there's a way out. There's a path to something better. It starts with honesty, with admitting you need help, with accepting grace when it's offered. And it continues with work, hard work, painful work, the work of becoming a whole person. But it's worth it. I promise it's worth it. Because on the other side of obsession is real connection. On the other side of desperation is peace. And you deserve that. Everyone deserves that. So if you're struggling, reach out, find help, accept kindness. And if someone offers you a second chance, take it and honor it and use it to become better. We all deserve the chance to grow, to change, to become more than our worst moments. And with that, I'll let you go, let you rest, let you drift off into peaceful sleep. I'll see you tomorrow, in whatever way that means for your life. Maybe in the pages of a book, maybe in a kind conversation, maybe just in the knowledge that you're worthy of real connection. Good night, wherever you are, whatever you're struggling with. You're going to be okay. I promise. You're going to be okay. Sweet dreams, and thank you for listening, for being here, for existing. See you soon. Sleep well.